And welcome back here at day 2, Prepathon for Cloudways 2024. Another round of virtual applause for our UGURUS team talking about different ways to do demand generation. Loved that session. The energy was so good. So many nuggets, takeaway. I always love on a panel when not everybody agrees with everything. So there's a little bit of different perspective there. A little mentor whiplash for you. So amazing start to day 2 of the Prepathon, and we're going to keep things going. We've got our next guest here is one of my favorite people on the internet related to agencies, growing your business, and specifically LinkedIn. We're going to be welcoming Nicole Osborne to the stage. She's going to be doing a LinkedIn profile makeover clinic. So we're going to do some live LinkedIn profile makeovers. This is so much fun. We did this last year, the Prepathon. People freaking loved it. Nicole is a chartered marketer. She's a LinkedIn Creator Accelerator Program alumni. She's been working with corporations and talented digital agencies for over 20 years. She absolutely adores supporting agency owners across the globe through some one-on-one consulting and coaching. She's also been a regular podcast guest. She's been on our podcast over at the Digital Agency Show. She's been on Jason Swang's podcast, Chris Doe's podcast. Basically, all the top people in our industry asked Nicole to come and talk about LinkedIn. So you are in for a treat. She's based in the UK, but she's originally from Germany, and she hangs out with her 10-year-old son and British hubby while sometimes riding scooters. Oh, welcome.
Wow, Brent, what an amazing introduction. And thank you so much to you and the Cloudways teams for having me for the second year. You are so right. You know, we had a blast last year. I particularly loved all the global audience. And look at all the love coming in. Guys, tell us in the chat, where are you all based? You know, Brent mentioned I've got a 10-year-old. I want to tell him because then he'd be impressed by mommy. Brent, shall I take it from here?
Yeah, it's all yours.
Excellent, excellent. So just wanted to say I had an opportunity to listen into the earlier panel on the second day of Prepathon. And wow, what a panel. Lots of great insights from Jen, Aaron, Abby, everyone, and lovely chats as well. Guys, in the chats, keep it coming. I'm seeing some hi already. Jeff, Sitra, let me know where you guys are based. I'm here in London. And what I'm going to do, I have prepared actually a very short presentation for you because I want to make sure in today's LinkedIn Clinic you all get some value, whether you're a company owner, whether you're a student, whether you're an agency owner. So I want to talk you through some of the basic principles, the kind of questions you need to ask yourself to make sure that the right people find you on LinkedIn. Brent, does that sound good?
Sounds amazing. And I'm just seeing some of the countries that are being shouted out to you, Nicole, here. I mean, we have a truly global audience.
I love it. We got Zimbabwe, we got Canada, we got Atlanta, and we got some amazing gifts as well. I love it. Okie dokie, guys. I'm going to do the honors now of sharing my screen to take you to my short presentation to give you just some of the background knowledge. Now, in my mind, Brent, can I just check, is my presentation showing?
Not yet.
Not yet. I am sure it will happen.
Maybe
soon.
one more button.
Absolutely. One more button. That could just be it. Hang on. We will get there.
There we go. 100%.
Fantastic, Brent. Thank you so much. So, guys, here at Prepathon. Now, marketing is a contest for people's attention. I must say, I've been in marketing now for 22 years, and it's still one of my old-time favorite quotes because there's so much noise out there, especially nowadays. You know, we want to thrive in the digital age. There's a lot of AI content out there. So keep this quote in mind because you want to really connect with the right people. So if you picture yourself in one of these white bands, you know, there are many of you. And today's session is really going to help you with your LinkedIn profile to really own that digital stage and get the right people to notice you, whether that's your next customer, whether that's your next podcasting opportunity, or perhaps you're a student and you are really hoping to nail that next employer. So I'm going to show you today how to do that. Now, very briefly, a little bit about me. Brent has already done the most amazing introduction. Thank you so much for that. Work with clients across the world, small picture here of my family, one of the reasons why I created my company Wunderstars. I am also a LinkedIn top voice. I'm really pleased with that. That came through a couple of months ago. And I will be next at Carver Press in Mexico. But that's enough about me. This session is for you. Now, I want you to picture that person in the audience you want to try and reach. Whether that's someone at the other end of the LinkedIn screen, or perhaps it's an HR director, or it's a marketing director you are targeting with your company's messaging. Perhaps you're supplying new websites, or you're an amazing designer. Now, they are likely to be really, really busy, right? They've got the phone ringing all the time. They've got meetings, which might be too many or too boring. So you really want to put yourself into their shoes and think about how can you grab their attention? How can you use your LinkedIn profile to really stand out? Now, we know LinkedIn is absolutely booming. There are over 1 billion members in over 200 countries. So it's likely to be relevant to you, whether you're in Zimbabwe or in Canada. And actually only 1% of members post once a week. So whilst there is a lot of content out there, you really want to stand out, and you want to make sure that you appreciate that your audience is likely to be really, really busy. So bear that in mind for everything I'm going to say today. So ask yourself, is it easy to find yourself? Is it easy to refer you? Maybe one of your customers would like to refer you to one of their contacts. Is it really easy to refer you? Is your LinkedIn profile, your personal profile, your landing page, is it an amazing sales page for you and your company or yourself as a person? Everything you offer on there, everything you say about yourself in your headline or in your about section, I'm going to show you some examples there in a moment. Is it like bees to honey, as in it's so irresistible, it attracts all the right people and they want to know more about you? So that's a really good guiding principle. For example, your profile picture is one of the biggest things people see, first of all, when they find you perhaps in search, or they've seen you in their newsfeed. So is it current? Are you looking into the camera? And I have to be honest, I review a fair bit of LinkedIn profile pictures as part of my work. And sometimes people have gone to a wedding and they're wearing like a wedding suit, or they're surrounded by lots and lots of friends. What I would really recommend you do is to either have a professional photo taken for your headshot, or if you can't do that, just use your camera, because we all have the best cameras available right now. What you want to do, you want to look into the camera, you want to look approachable, you want to make sure that you have a really good background, something that stands out, or perhaps you can even use a tool like Canva to get yourself a really nice background. So that's the first thing people will notice about you. So the first thing which really matters about making a great impression is your profile picture. And just see an example, it's Maria. She's based in Spain. She runs a design agency. And what a lovely smile, right? Wouldn't you want to check her out? Now, the next marketing asset you have with your profile is actually your headline. So the headline is, as it shows you, is the text just underneath your name. And guys, if I'm really honest, I often see so many boring headlines, just with the job title and nothing else. So what you want to do, you want to add some keywords, you want to show how you help. Maybe you could even add some personal talking points, anything for people to see, oh my God, this is just the right person for me, and to really connect with you. And I'm going to give you some guidance on that. But again, Maria's done a brilliant job here. Now, really, I always think LinkedIn is your stage. The same as we are now sharing this virtual stage. LinkedIn is really just a massive networking opportunity, and own it as your stage. I wanted to show this picture of Jazz Amplify to you. She's an award-winning speaker. And of course, as speakers, they are really, really exciting. They have lots of things to shout about. But just take some of the key learnings from this, really say who you're for. So for Jazz, she always makes her audience laugh, cry, and leaves her on a high. She has some amazing testimonials. She's had a TEDx talk. She looks a bit like Beyonce. So you can see she's adding some personality to there already in her headline. You can see some emojis in there. So think about it for your own headline on LinkedIn. What can you say to help you connect with your audience, to help you stand out, to highlight your skills, and to really show who you want to be found by?
Hey, Nicole, real quick, we're not seeing the slides change, so we're just still seeing Seth's quote. So not sure if that has shown up on your end, but
goodness. It
Yeah.
hasn't. How are we going to fix that? So, okay, I've got the about section. Can
Yeah.
you see the
Now we're
about
seeing
section?
your about section, but we're seeing it within PowerPoint. We're not seeing it in slide mode. So we're
That's
just
not a
seeing the slide one
nice
by
view.
one.
Let me just fix that.
All good. I
All
think you
good.
must be on 2 monitors, and you're showing the presentation on a different monitor, and we're seeing the raw slides. So I'm sure a quick little tweak will help that.
Okey dokey. So, can you now see the your about section?
It
Perfect.
We just see it
Um,
within PowerPoint.
within PowerPoint. Okay. Do you know what? I love to have a technical challenge. Let me just see how we're going to fix this. Okay, I can definitely see you see this lovely screen within PowerPoint, and obviously you want to have the entire picture, don't you?
And if we want to just
Um,
rock with this, that's probably fine. If you want to go into slideshow mode, that works too. You might have to reshare
yeah,
inside of Zuddle.
let me just slideshow. Okay, going to stop sharing. We're going to see how it's going to work again. Oh, this is always so much fun. You know, this is why we like events, because things can just go wrong and our audience gets a good impression of how we deal with these things.
I'm sure this isn't your first rodeo, so we've
It definitely is not my first rodeo. You know, I am obviously especially excited about being able to share the actual LinkedIn profile. So as long as we can see the LinkedIn profiles, we're going to have an amazing session. Yes, Melanie, I am on Windows, so it's not sharing up. Let's just see. I'm going to share the screen again. Entire screen. Do you know what? I might not be able to fix it. So I
let's
know
just
it's
run with what you're sharing right now, and just if you want to step through those slides, that would be perfect.
absolutely. Absolutely. So guys, on this slide, which I hope you can see about 80% of the screen at the moment, I have shown you a really, really good profile picture by Maria. And you can see she looks into the camera and it's really, really friendly. Here, it's also Maria's tagline. And I wanted just to emphasize with you what an opportunity it is for you to highlight your skills, to say who you are for, the value you bring, whether that's you as a student looking for a position or you as an agency owner or a business owner. A great example, just to get some inspiration, here's the picture of Jazz, which I think you couldn't see earlier. Do you know, she is an award-winning speaker. She used to be one of my clients, and there's obviously so much she can highlight. But for every one of you, LinkedIn is like being on your own stage, so really take advantage of it. Now, your about section, often people say to me, Nicole, I have got no idea what to write about it. So just think about what skills to highlight. How can you connect with your audience? What do they struggle with? And make it about them. Really bring them in with a hook, which is about them. So here, JP, digital agency owner of worked in the past, has done this really, really well. He talks about how his agency is different, the kind of things that can help them with, what's it like to work with them, and also how to actually get in touch with them. Now, this is something people often forget about on their LinkedIn profile, is to think about, okay, what next step do I want people to take? Perhaps you have like a free download, or you want them to send you a DM. So really make sure that you include that, and we'll show you how as well. Finally, one of your biggest tools is really to celebrate your achievements, to celebrate your skills, and add social proof wherever you can. Here I'm showing you a recommendation, so you could get, for example, your clients or your former peers or people you've worked with to recommend you. There's a new feature right now on LinkedIn, if you have a premium account, where you can actually feature this as your feature post. But the simplest thing to do is to connect with people you've worked with in the past, clients you've delivered projects for, and ask them for a recommendation. And you know, normal people are really, really helpful, especially if you also give some recommendations in turn. So don't overlook this feature to really show how good you are and what kind of results you can offer to your clients. Now, I wanted to finish on this point, really. Make sure that you have a unique voice, because it is so easy to go into ChatGPT or Copilot or any other system you're using and ask it for some copy. But what comes back with? You need to show your personality. You know, make sure that it hits the right notes for your audience. So really ask yourself, what can I do to give this a unique voice? Because in my experience with LinkedIn being so busy, if you are playing it to save, you know, if you are boring in essence, where you sound and look like everyone else, it just won't get you on the best shortlist, whether that's for the next project for your company or whether that's that next job you're hoping for. So in essence, bear these things in mind. Consider when you look at your LinkedIn profile, who am I writing this for? Who am I trying to attract? What are the things I need to tell them about? What keywords do you need to add? Do you have a good photo? Do you have social proof? What talking points do you have? You really want to show that you understand your audience and you want to encourage them to take that next step. So what I'm going to do now, when we finish this session, I'm going to just give you a quick link as well to download some free post ideas. But right now, I'm uber keen to go into the profile review. So I'm going to just for a moment stop sharing to have a look what's going on in the comments. Brent is saying, yes, live reviews, hardly can see the text on the slides. Listen, I'm so sorry to hear that, but hopefully by going through the profiles and the principles, you still have those key learning points. So let me just go into some of the profiles. So we had people register for the session and there are loads of you. So we went through and just a representative sample to making sure that everyone is getting some good learning points. Now, before we do that, tell me in the comments, who is ready to start updating their profile? Let us know in the comments. Who is ready to start updating their profile? Oh, yes. Lots. Brilliant. So hopefully, you can use these learning points. Absolutely. Oh, brilliant. And let's hold each other accountable. Maybe the one thing to do really, and Abby said this earlier, if you want to generate more business, create some time in your diary. So while I'm doing the review, have your calendar bookings system open and just put in 1 hour to make some of these updates with some of the ideas we already shared. Yes, Sebastian is saying it's been due for a while. And Sally, yet time to join with 1 billion people on LinkedIn. Absolutely. Okie dokie. So I am now going to call up some of these amazing profiles we had through to hopefully give you lots and lots of learning points on them. I'm just going to share my screen. And we've now got, excellent. Right, Brent, please confirm that you can see the lovely Lakshmi on the screen.
We can see it. I don't know if you can give us a couple of those command pluses or whatever, just to zoom in a smidge.
Yep,
I think that would be helpful for some of our viewers.
Okay,
I'm just talking from maybe, for a friend, right? That, I've gotten older, Nicole, and my eyes, or my friends' eyes aren't as good as they once were.
It's the same for me. It's the same for me. I would like to show you guys Lakshi's profile. Now, Lakshmi is a front-end developer, and she is based in the US. And first of all, I just want to say her profile picture is really friendly, guys. I hope you all agree with me. Lakshmi's got a most amazing profile picture in there. So she looks directly at the camera. It's a beautiful smile. So Lakshmi, if you're here with us right now, super well done. In the top section, I also really like that you've got an image behind your photo. You talk already about web development. So if you come up in the search, we can see immediately this is your area of interest. So super well done. And for everyone who is with us today in the session, think about how can you use the image, which is the header image, to really draw attention to yourself. In a good way, of course. Now, the next thing I just wanted to highlight with Lakshmi, you have a fantastic headline here. So we say, front-end developer, expert in Angular, JavaScript, and you're managing to name all the different tools. And the last thing you say, an agile and development ops enthusiast. So well done already for actually already putting in some additional information in there. I'd suggest to also maybe have maybe personal interest or what kind of companies you particularly like to work with, just to make it that even more relevant for the person you want you to be noticed by. Now, the other thing I want everyone here to learn is that usually the first 45 or 60 character in the headline is what comes up in the search, which you can see on the right-hand side. So you want to make sure that these are really optimized and that you've set something other than just your job title. Now, the next section I would like to show you is the famous About section. Now, guys, let us know. You can see the About section. So we all have an About section in our LinkedIn profile. which is such a marketing asset. And so often people are not making use of it. Now, Lakshmi, here, you have already written quite a lot of text. It's really in detail. You talk about what you're passionate about. You're saying that you are currently looking for some opportunities. So well done for that, for having the contact details on there. Do you know, sometimes you can perhaps even further optimize this sort of format by maybe some bullet points, and really shortening some of the sentences, because guys, we know people on social media, they have really short attention spans. So let's really draw their attention to how can you get in touch with me? What are the kind of projects I've worked on? What skills do I bring to the table? So actually, it's already a really good about section. I would just say maybe work a little bit on the format so that it's easier to read when people are short of time. Lakshmi, you've also done an amazing job by having some really interesting posts which show different interests you have on your profile. And I hope, guys, let me know who at the moment has discovered their featured section as an opportunity to perhaps promote a specific service or promote an event you've been to. Let me know in the comments if any of you is actually using the featured section. Be great, because it's such an opportunity. Now, LinkedIn has given us this section quite a while ago, and they're continuously changing what you can use in it. But whichever things come up in terms of new features, try and see if you can make them work for your profile, just to make them stand up a little bit more. So then further on, what I wanted to say, so Lakshmi, it's well done, you are active. So for everyone who is here who perhaps it might be looking for a job, but even when you are a business owner, the experience section is really your area to sort of showcase how you can help your audience, what achievements you've had, what projects you've worked on, why people should be connecting with you. Now, the reality is that only a small percentage actually draw their attention and go all the way to your experience section. But again, it's an opportunity to add keywords to it, add your context details to it. So, if you've worked for some amazing companies, just like Lakshmi has done, offer some detail, just say what the company does and maybe highlight 2 or 3 of the projects you've worked on. So that's a really good hack for really completing your LinkedIn profile. And LinkedIn itself is really good with this. You get lots of guidance if you follow LinkedIn step by step to help you get the additional star rating for your profile. Education is on there, fantastic. Now, the thing which I really wanted to highlight to everyone, look at this recommendation section. I said this earlier in my presentation, which is such a marketing opportunity. And Lakshmi, well done for having some really current recommendations in there. And everyone today here with us, Prepathon, to really thrive on LinkedIn, try and get some recommendations. Be generous with people, share some recommendations. So Lakshmi, super well done. I hope this is really, really helpful. Let's get on to the next profile. Now, tell me, guys, what are you learning so far? What is the one thing you're going to implement? I want to see if all of you are going to update your photos, perhaps, or your tagline. I'm just looking at the chat at the moment. Brian is saying me, Happy is saying me. Fantastic. Now, I would like to introduce you all to Michael. I'm just sharing. Yes, we still got Lakshmi, so I think I might have to briefly come out of sharing to go into it again. One moment, we will set this up.
Nicole, one of the things I thought was just super cool about your profile is on the featured, your first featured is a link to book a free call, and your image for it has just this beautiful, like, kind of attention grabbing CTA. And so I think sometimes a lot of times people look at linked feature and they just do posts or whatever, right? But they don't think about like what kind of different types of content or headlines they can include in there. So I love that. I hope everybody here that's got a freelance or agency business, that first one should be book a call, right?
Absolutely, book a call, right? Or check out our portfolio. And in the featured section, as Brent just said, if you just upload an image without any text, but just the link behind it, people directly click on it and go to your website or your landing page. So yes, so worth doing. I was Brent, I was doing happy dances when that feature came out because we were so limited. Of course, for everyone, please update your contact details if I haven't said this earlier. But for the featured section, think about what is it the next step I'm encouraging to do. Perhaps you have a discovery call or a freebie you would like people to download, or portfolio you want them to look at, especially if you're a designer. So highlight those in your portfolio. And in particular, if you have a bit of design resources, or you can have some, you can use Canva, just a simple design, really grabbing that attention. Fantastic. Sebastian is saying he's thinking a little bit more, is going to think about a little bit more about who to address in his profile. And Sebastian, actually, I think this example I'm showing you now, the example by Michael, will be really, really helpful to see. Because Michael actually is an agency, where I'm working in the non-for-profit sector. And this is the one thing you notice straight away when you look at his profile. So really think about it, all the key indicators. What's my niche? How can I speak to them, and how can I really highlight it? I found this on my own LinkedIn profile. For a long time, I just talked about helping agencies with their marketing. And yes, in essence, this is what I do. I help agencies to generate better leads with LinkedIn and their personal brand. But then I switched it up to just saying, actually, do you know what? I train you on LinkedIn so that you can get more leads for your digital agency. And as soon as you make it that specific, people know what you are about, what your expertise is, why is it worth talking to you. So I recommend to all of you to consider who's your audience, how do you help them, and how can you then use, for example, the image, the featured images, as well as the background image. Now, when we look at Michael, just want to say, again, a lovely picture by Michael. It looks into the camera, it's smiling, it's approachable. I would not be afraid of contacting him. He seems really approachable. His headline says, your website should look good and do good. Perhaps what I suggest to that is to maybe switch it around and have that as a question. You're a purpose-led business, your website looks good, but does it also deliver results for your communities, or does it help you to raise funds, whatever it might be? So it's a good headline, but just switch it up a little bit, perhaps. I like what Michael says, he's a founder, he's a president, and then the next thing is brilliant. He's saying helping non-profit organizations generate funding through a personalized website design approach. So really, really good already. It's assess what they can get, what his values are. Michael, perhaps if you have a unique process or something, or maybe you could add an additional talking point just to really make it easier for people to reach out and to have like this common discussion. It's a little bit like when you're at a networking event, how can you put people at ease? And often it's by asking good questions, listening, and finding things you have in common. And the principle on LinkedIn is exactly the same. Now, let's go further down on his section, so I can just highlight a couple of more things to you. So again, just checking back, yes, you can see his about section. So you can say what he does, how he does it. So that's really nice, specifically laid out. It's easy to get. I also believe at the end he offers a call to action. So book in a 15-minute call. Perhaps Michael, for you, this would be a good idea to have that in your featured section. Really, really good. I would say perhaps some emojis just to draw attention if that's in line with your brand. What I specifically like, and guys, I want you to pick this up. It's a really good approach. Michael has added some short testimonials already to his about section. So what others say, and I think that's such a good idea. So well done, Michael. Again, I thought with your experience section, it's definitely worth adding some more details to it. So, the reach point, who do you work with? How many clients have you served? What results can you get? And really just offering a little bit more detail. The idea with LinkedIn, with your LinkedIn profile, is for everyone to, all the sections you're offered, if you have special certifications, if you have worked on projects, or maybe you've published some work, try and find ways to add them on LinkedIn to really show off what a great person you are and what a great asset you could be to a new company. It's got the skills. So everyone, good learning point here. You want to show the kind of skills which are really relevant to the kind of projects you're after, kind of clients you want to attract, or the kind of job you want to go for. So carefully always think about updating your skills and adding to them. Again, you have some recommendations, Michael. That's brilliant. I would say if you get a moment, go in there, get some more recent ones. And I know as we run our businesses, we always evolve our services. So it's always good to have some recent recommendations from the kind of services you really now want to promote, because they're your most attractive services. I've got a really good question on here. So what's the best way to indicate career transition from one industry role to another? And I think this is really typical nowadays. We have a portfolio career. When you do that, it's really worth really highlighting all the relevant aspects for your new direction, and people really expect us to change and evolve. So don't be afraid of going over your LinkedIn profile and really updating it for the new direction. Maybe in your about section, maybe you give the jobs which you are going for more of a sort of emphasis in your experience section. It is totally normal. We all evolve. People expect us to change careers, to change focus. So it's probably really worth it every few months to see, is this still serving me? Is this serving my personal goals, my career goals, or my business goals? And then just rewrite it, because it's so easy. You can just rewrite it. It will take you 10, 15 minutes. It's not like we're going into print, like a big advertising billboard. This is just LinkedIn. It's your digital brand. So I hope that helps. Honey's saying she likes the about section really concise. Is there a good or bad length to the about section? Oh, Honey, such a good question. There are arguments both ways. My advice to you would be, make sure you talk about the people you want to attract and their problems, and show briefly how you can do that, and show how they can get in touch. If you can fit all this in really concise copy, do that. If you want to say a little bit more, that's fine. I always think aim for a really easy readability, short sentences, active language, use some words you would typically use. Brent told you guys earlier, I'm originally from Germany, so every now and then I say a German word because for me, it's on brand. So think about that. So LinkedIn will give you a character limit. That's already there. You don't have to fill it all, but at the same time, it's a really good advertising asset. But make sure it's easy to read, skim read as well. So Honey, use bullet points, maybe some emojis, some white spacing. That will make it much easier to read it. Right, I would now, Michael.
Real quick question, Nicole, on Michael's, is he put a URL, like spelled out the URL in the about section. Any thoughts on, is that like fine, or do we want to use the featured for that, or just like if we want somebody to try to go to a URL, do we want to include that stuff like he does?
Yeah, it's a really great question. So the nice thing is about having the entire URL in that, when people access their LinkedIn on mobile, which the majority of people do, it actually is hyperlinked. So it'll come up as a blue link and people can click on it. So I know it doesn't look nice on desktop, right? It doesn't look so nice on desktop, but on mobile, that is really valuable. And again, was just a really helpful tip for everyone. When you make changes on LinkedIn, check them out on desktop and check them out on mobile as well, so that you really optimize for mobile, particularly with images, where you put text. So yes, Money is hyperlinked on mobile. So I mean, how cool is that? We talked in the earlier session about sending traffic to your website, really qualified people. This is a really good way of doing it. Right, so I'm going to go, so on Michael, this is what I want to highlight. I hope that's really helpful for everyone. I wanted to show you an entirely different profile now. Just see that I'm changing over. The good thing is, that LinkedIn hasn't crashed on us today. Guys, we haven't broken the internet yet. I want to see more comments.
We can fix a slide screen share. Can't fix LinkedIn being available or not available. So that one would be above our pay grade.
Okie dokie. So I would like to introduce you all. I would like to introduce all to Said. Said submitted his profile. He's based in Bangladesh. Hello, Said. Let us know in the comments if you're here live, or perhaps if you're watching the replay. So let me just go to his profile as well. So Said, again, a really nice picture. Do you know what I particularly like about your headshot is that it really stands out, the contrast of the colors. You put yourself against a red image, and then in the background you have a blue image. Now, I would say, though, about your header, there's probably ways we can really sort of make it a little bit more interesting, because really you could have all of these sort of no, actually, this is a good one. Sorry, I'm mixing up. So he's saying he's a data-driven strategist, he's a digital marketing guy, he's a lifelong learner. So these are really good key points to mention. It's probably also optimized for mobile, so that's worth checking. So you can see how Said has just made some simple changes on his image just to be more noticeable. I particularly like how he's done his tagline as well. So for everyone, he's a growth strategist, he's a doer, he's a believer, he's an observer, thinker, minimalist. He loves books, and he's also a CMO at directress.com. I like it because it's got some personality in there. You know, we can get an insight into his values. He's putting his job title actually last. I just want to make sure that you have all the keywords in there. So let us know. But overall, I think this is a really excellent top section of a profile. Guys, let me know. Let me know, do you think that's a good way to adopt a nicely spaced out headline, a little bit of personality? So don't be afraid of showing some personality. You know, really, we do business with people. We hire real people. So LinkedIn is your way of showing that, of showing some personality. And I know you might be thinking, oh, but we have to be so professional. You can be professional and still show your personality. We do business with people. The old ways of LinkedIn being just really stuffy, they're completely gone. I want to hear anyone in the chat who is ready to embrace some personality. I know Brent is going to add a hobby. we gotta call him out.
You know what? I mean, Nicole, I mean, this is my perspective is like, I feel like if you project this like really like non-personal brand, you know, persona, it might attract opportunities that don't align with personal brand. Like if you have a stuffy, you know, corporate, no personality profile, and then you end up with like a stuffy, no personality corporate job that you're like, I don't know why, I really don't like this job. It's really boring, right? But then you know, you projected that kind of that essence versus attracting opportunities that might align better.
Completely right. Completely. So reflect on who do I like to work with? If I'm looking for a job, what teams would I really thrive in? Do you know, whenever I look at the Cloudways page, it's fun. You know, it shows fun. So project that, and you can do that in your personal profile. My husband always says to me, Nicole, are you working? I hear you laughing a lot. It's because I've chosen to come across as a fun person, because I like to have fun while I work. Because let's face it, not everyone wakes up thinking, hey, I want to optimize my LinkedIn profile. So I know if I make it fun for you guys, it's going to be more achievable. Okay, so let's see what else we've got to say with Saeed here. So well done, Saeed, already. It's got a good about us section. I would definitely say let's add how people can get in touch with you. What do you like them to do next? I also wanted to show you how Saeed has added his services. So look, me now as a member of the public, I can go and click and request his services. So that's worth setting up. He's given me specific keywords for them. LinkedIn offers you those options. You can also then get recommendations for and reviews for your services. So that looks really, really good. So that's something to consider for you. Look at his featured section. Really good use of the featured section. Essentially, Saeed has launched different newsletters for different areas of expertise, you know, cybersecurity, growth marketing, business development. And what a nice way of getting people to get notified when he sends out a newsletter. So if you are already having a newsletter, or this is something you're considering as a way of growing your personal brand, as getting people to notice you, definitely promote your newsletter in the featured section. So he's very active. In his experience section, I would say, let's see, he's got some good details. He's added the skills. So really, Saeed, this is a really, really good profile already. Do you know, you're already at that level. It might be worth for you to consider maybe adding some video to your content, because LinkedIn is really, really, at the moment, pushing video. So if you're feeling brave and you want to give people that extra insight into you, add some video posts as well. I really like it that you've added volunteering, that you've got the different projects, licenses and certifications. And guys, this goes back to the point I made earlier. Do you know, anything you have to show up your skills, to show up your expertise, use it on LinkedIn, just as Saeed has done here. And yes, request reviews for your services so that people can really see the results you delivered and how happy your customers are. So Saeed, this is a really solid profile. You got excellent recommendations, maybe get some additional ones. You know, you even got some honors and awards. So overall, a fantastic profile. I guess sometimes people might get a little bit confused with what's the sort of thing, like the one thing you really, really, really care about, because you do a mixture of things, but I am sure that completely works for you. I like that you talk about your passions, and yes, well done for optimizing your profile. One tiny thing I would like to show to everyone, and we just check that it comes up. No, it doesn't come up. Hang on. See, no, I can't fix this. When we have a LinkedIn URL for our personal profile, LinkedIn gives us this really long data code, and it looks like a lot of gobbledygook, a string of numbers. So this is one of the first opportunities you have to customize it by just going into your settings, making sure that you take out the number string and perhaps put something more unique. And if you're lucky, your name will be exactly available like that. And while you're there, also at that time, check your profile settings to make sure that people can see your picture and your name and your headline, because it looks really, really bad when you haven't done that and people just are met with this gray box of boringness. And, you know, when you get a message for someone, who are you more likely to say yes to? Someone who looks as friendly as Saeed, you know, there's a picture, it says what he does, or someone where you just met with a gray box and there's like no personality? I think the question, you know, ask yourself, who do you want to be of that? Right, yes, Marit is saying that add to full call to action seems new. Do you know, I use Volk as a system just to keep track of my prospects and my customers and my influencers. So yeah, check it out. That's only on my LinkedIn screen. But there are other systems as well. You know, you can even just put all your prospects or people you want to keep in touch with on a spreadsheet if you're getting started. It all works. Now, let's see. Brent, do you think we have time for one more person? I think we might.
I think we can squeeze it in. If I start you know, doing this, like we're gonna close up.
Okay, I want to find a lady. Okay, let me show another lady. Let's do that. Okay, I'm going to be very, very, very quick. Go switch between. My keyboard is on fire. Everyone else's keyboard is on fire, which is brilliant. Let's see if you can find it. There we go. Everyone, meet the lovely Monika. And I'm really sorry if I don't pronounce the name right. Monika is currently working as a UI UX designer. Really lovely picture. Everyone can see an amazing font image, so it says straight away what she does. Monika, if you have a little bit of time, use today's tips to add a little bit more detail here to your tagline. Perhaps say what kind of companies you work for, what kind of systems you're really good at, maybe also a personal talking point. You have already a good about section. Do you know, Monika, the reason why I wanted to chat to you, because you do such amazing illustrations on Instagram. I want to invite you to actually share some of them on LinkedIn, because it really will show your skills. Because on Instagram, they are beautiful. And you can totally share them on LinkedIn, maybe talk about what inspired you. Do that as a regular feature, and I think it will draw a lot of interest to your profile, which I think already is really, really interesting for people to follow. Look, everyone, Monika is using the featured section really, really well. She is regularly on LinkedIn, which is amazing. I would say, Monika, share some more of your experience, talk a little bit more who you've worked for, what your specific contributions there. You've added all the licenses, certifications, you've got your skills. And the final bit, everyone, what am I going to say? It's about the recommendations. It's worth getting some recommendations if she hasn't done that already. Right, guys, this is the final profile. Very, very briefly, if you want to get some more post ideas, because, you know, optimizing your profile, making your show window look amazing, making sure that the right people find you is number one. The next thing you want to do is post regularly. So I'm just going to very, very briefly, if it's coming up, if I got a second, a mini second, I'm going to just go back to the presentation, which I couldn't show you completely. I've got a freebie for you. Basically, I've got a booklet with 33 ideas. You can apply that whether you're a business owner or a digital agency, and then make sure that you have relevant posts, they're interesting, and they really draw your audience in. So everyone, come to my website, wunderstars.com/content inspiration, and get yourself a free download. Oh, Brent, I am super excited that you guys invited me here today.
I'm gonna steal you for like one or two more questions
from
the audience. I think they might be quick answers, they might not be. How do you feel about the open to work badge? When do you recommend people do that? I imagine some people that are gainfully employed, they might be concerned if they put, if they're looking for something new, if they put some kind of signal out there, that might be seen.
It's a tricky thing, right? So if I was a really great question, Sally, I would say open to work, but if you are proactively looking, perhaps if you're not in a job, because I know if I was a line manager, I'd probably be every now and then be checking into LinkedIn, and because I'm connected with you, because we're at the same company, I might just see that. So I would be a little bit more discreet with that. But if you run a business and you're looking for clients, definitely put this on. LinkedIn is there to network and to help you with opportunities, and for everyone else, take every opportunity to be generous. If you ever see a post, so-and-so is looking for a position, share it. Because, this is what social networking is all about. Be generous. So I hope that helps. So if you're in a job, maybe not, maybe not, unless you're very open with everyone about that. But yeah, Brent,
and then there was another
Mhm.
question about how can I get verified? So I don't know if this is something that's a quick answer
Yeah.
there.
Very quick. LinkedIn gives you step-by-step instructions. Some of them involve just uploading a picture of your passport. You don't have to do it. It's completely up to you. I haven't done it on my profile. I refuse. But the option is absolutely there.
I was like, have I done it? Apparently I have. Like, apparently I uploaded. I'm like, here, LinkedIn, here's my passport. So hopefully that's secure and all that good stuff. Any recommendations for paid, like what benefits you will get? I
Yeah.
know every time I log into LinkedIn, I feel like I'm getting hit like premium.
Oh, yeah.
What
I
are your
mean,
thoughts there?
do you know, I'm on the premium version because it's about $50 a month, and I love it because for two reasons. First of all, I have better access to people who viewed my profile. So with those people, I can look them up, I can follow them up and say, "Hey Tony, I saw you on my profile. Anything catch your eye?" And you can start that conversation if it's an interesting person for you. Also, the whole statistics are a little bit more manageable. Now, everyone can get a free trial for it for a month. So if you're unsure, try it out. Now, the step up from that is a sales navigator, which is particularly helpful if you want to do a lot of proactive leads outreach. You can get notifications on there when your target personas have posted. It is really easy to go in one go and just comment so that you're visible and to move on the conversation. It feeds into your CM. So I would say, depending on where you are currently, you can achieve so much with a free LinkedIn version. You really can. But why not try out for a month the premium version? The way it's moving, in my mind, LinkedIn is really pushing the premium version. So there's more features which are now only available if you're a premium user. So that probably will convince more people to give it a go. But obviously, it's quite expensive as well, $50. So not everyone can spend on that. So I want to encourage you, the free profile is still really amazing. There's so much you can do, show your personality, all the things we talked about today.
Awesome. And last question for you, Nicole. How has your experience been now at your second Prepathon here with Cloudways?
I always love the Cloudways team. They make you feel so welcome. The community, I mean, look at the chat, Brent. It's on fire, right? I mean, there's so many good questions. So everyone, please reach out on LinkedIn. I'm really, really happy to help. And it's such a good vibe. I listened to the panel. Oh my goodness, it was so interesting. So I'm going to watch the replays because of the time difference. But yeah, I think you've created such an amazing event over the 3 days. So much value, all the networking going on amongst the delegates as well. It's brilliant.
Very good. Well, Nicole, thank you. Audience, let's give Nicole a little bit of love as we send her off. Amazing value. I know I've got some homework tonight on my LinkedIn
You do?
profile to beef that up. I think we're going to see some new featured links on my profile. Just say. So looking forward to that. Thank you, Nicole. Excited to have you hang out with us maybe on future Prepathons. You're amazing, and we will see you. Hopefully see you soon. And definitely drop your link to the Wonder Stars resource in chat if you haven't already, because I know some people want to know how to find out more about you and all that good stuff.
Thank you, everyone. Have fun. Thank you very much.
And stick with us. We'll be right back for a pitch perfect activity. So we've got some amazing prizes. If you're somebody who want to get some of those free hosting credits, Cloudways swag bag, all that good stuff, stick with us. We'll be right back for our pitch perfect activity. So get ready and stick with us at Prepathon 2024.